Hello there. This is a review video about Google Data Studio. We here at Whatagraph speak to hundreds of clients every single year that are users of Google Data Studio or are former users of Google Data Studio that have switched over to Whatagraph. So let me outline a few key positive points about Google Data Studio, especially being a former Googler myself. I mean, Google is probably the most recognizable platform out there, predominantly because it's free, right? You don't pay even a cent for it. But Google makes money other ways by you being hooked onto the platform, whether that's Google Ads or otherwise. But the other sort of beauty really about Google Data Studio is the fact that they have over 300 connectors available on the platform. And that is humongous amount of connectors that are available within the platform. And on top of that, it has a huge template gallery that allows you really to scale across all of those connectors available within Google Data Studio. Those, when it comes to the downsides, and if you played around with Google Data Studio, you know that there's no real extended team to the actual platform. So when you have an issue with Google Data Studio, you'll probably need to file a ticket. That'll maybe result in a few days, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, depending what's happening in the world. However, at Whatagraph, there's a live chat support. People respond within hours really to any issues that you may have, and this is really critical during these times, and also in particular that's important when you're an agency, you're working with clients on a daily basis, and those issues, whatever those issues are, really need to be resolved ASAP. The other thing to really look at Google Data Studio is to get the data into Google, you're probably going to use another partner. So let's say Supermetrics, and you're going to be paying still some money to Supermetrics. So to get your, let's say, Facebook data via Supermetrics into Google Data Studio. So A, you do end up paying some money, and then B, the problem is because you're using couple essentially parties to visualize all your data, the platform can become quite laggy and slow. So if you're definitely not a fan of slow and laggy, potentially being an issue for you, and that's a critical component, I wouldn't advise really Google Data Studio on the front. Where at Whatagraph we have native integrations with all the platforms out there, so we connect directly to Google Ads, to Facebook, etc., and then the data flows into Whatagraph, and the refresh rate is in minutes. That's available. So really allowing you to track data as close to real time as possible, which is pretty key at Whatagraph. So the speed is really what it's all about here as well when it comes to Google Data Studio. If speed is top of your mind, do you think about that quite in a bit when you're considering Google Data Studio? And then Google Data Studio is not necessarily for the unsavvy people, right? You have to have some sort of background, maybe some technical expertise, etc., or have been using Google Data Studio maybe in your previous employment, and it's not necessarily super easy to onboard sort of with on the platform. And especially if you have, if you think about it, you have, let's say, you're an agency and you have a team and people come and go. And you want people really to jump on the platform as quickly as possible, it may be quite tricky with Google Data Studio because there may be only one or two people that really know within the team how to use that platform, whereas the rest of the team doesn't necessarily know that. So to take into that account, but at the end of the day, being also a former Googler myself, you want to kind of compare side by side probably Google Data Studio, what it does for you, and also then Whatagraph. Yes, there is a cost to using Whatagraph, but at the end of the day, think about the number of hours that you can invest into Google Data Studio, and that's quite a bit of money spent in terms of the hours, right, and also naturally the money, or potentially you could be looking to pay a sort of a fixed cost going forward for this particular solution, and then at the end of the day, the number of hours you save, right, by not using Google Data Studio, kind of makes sense that you pay that fixed fee for an automation platform that does a much better job. It visualizes the data, connects the marketing analytics data with the internal stakeholders and external stakeholders as quickly as possible. And overall, it's a much better experience. So think about that quite a bit. There's plenty of value to be explored here. What I always say, sign up for Whatagraph, check it out. There's a free trial. get a demo. If you want to of the platform, there will be a person that will walk you through and understand, whether the custom, a lot of features that we've developed just to fit your specific needs of your business is maybe a better fit, and a better output that you're looking to deliver, whether that's on a weekly or on a monthly basis. Anyway, looking forward to onboard you as a potential client of Whatagraph. Do let me know if there's anything that we help, and otherwise, good luck.